Hey everybody, welcome to day 3 of 30 days towards building a family ministry plan for your church. My name's Tommy and we're with Ron Hunter, who's the author of the DNA of D6. Just before we get started, I would love to share a quote from Chap Clark, who's with Fuller Theological Seminary, about your book. He said, "In the DNA of D6, Ron's heart for strengthening the family is evident, and his love for the church shines through." So in the last session, you had mentioned this term 1/168. Can you just tell us as church leaders, what does that term mean? What's that fraction about? Just tell us a little bit about why that's important.
Absolutely. You know, we've actually printed T-shirts with that fraction on the front, and that's all that's there. And when we wear it out, every time somebody asks, what's that number mean? And it literally is a good conversation starter. But like the early sessions that we're doing here, it really establishes a philosophy or a direction that we need to admit that we're in the mode of as a church. 1/168 really is about the number of hours that a person gets discipled each week. 1/168. Go to grandma and ask her to cut that cake into 168 even slices, and we're not going to get very much, if anything at all. On the back of that T-shirt that brings all those questions, we have the big bold words, "It's not enough." And it really isn't. So 1/168 in the book is about our potential for ministry multipliers. You know where that comes from? It goes back to the home. Yeah. How do we help parents effectively disciple the kids when they're not at church, getting that 1 hour a week? Now, it's unfair for us to suggest to you that they have 167 more hours to go when they've got to sleep, they've got to go to school. There are other things. I mean, think about it. Sleep is about 49 hours a week. They're in school about 35 hours a week. They're on electronics. This is what studies show. Tommy, this blew me away. 45 hours a week, they're looking at some rectangle. But parents still have 38 hours to influence their kids. That's almost the amount of time in a full-time job. And what we've got to do is brainstorm how we can help parents maximize those 38 hours. And if we do that, then we'll practice what Christ modeled for us here on the earth. Imagine had he simply focused on his sermons, focused on his teaching and his parables. But he didn't. He actually spent time developing the disciples. The church has to brainstorm, how can we develop parents? That's the 1/168 principle, where we say, is it a flawed fraction or is it an opportunity to be a ministry multiplier? And parents are ministry multipliers.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So to conclude day 3, the brainstorming part that Ron mentioned, that's where we want to engage. So how can we brainstorm and to determine what do our parents need to do with these hours with their kids? How do we equip them and empower them as church leaders? And then also don't forget to go to d6family.com and to sign up for all of these coaching sessions. It's completely free. You can get it delivered straight to your inbox, and you can even purchase the book, The DNA of D6. So brainstorm on this, and we'll see you tomorrow.